Hey guys, Mike again. I want to start a little bit of a debate. I don't know, maybe even argument. I want to know what some of you think. So I just got word of some more racing. Kind of a series. I don't know what you want to call it, but it'll be guaranteed at least 5 races this year. The rules, some of the rules. So, small tire and the small tire rule, they're kicking it around. This isn't set in stone yet. This is somebody trying to set up a bit of a series. Anyways, got the call, wanted to know if I wanted to partake in something like this. And the rule, so the 29.5 no W, that's the small tire rule. So I don't know about you guys, but to me, a small tire is a 28.10.5 or a 275. That's a small tire, little bitty. I mean, I understand a 29.5 is a small tire compared to a 33 1450. I get that. But what's the break? What do you guys think? I mean, I know that this is an argument that can go on forever. But, I mean, I don't know many vehicles with stock frame rails and stock wheel tubs and things such as that, without scooting the springs in or any of that jazz, that'll hold a 29.5 tire, unless it's a pickup. Then they should call it a pickup class with 29.5 tires. But nonetheless, to me, small tire is 28.10.5. And, you know, there's some vehicles that won't even allow you to put that under there. There's no room for all that. But that's a small tire in my book. So, that was part of the discussion. The next question, I'm eating, by the way, so the next rule is it has to be stock frame rail. Stock frame rail. Notch is okay. Well, so to clarify that up, my whole thing with that is, I mean, okay, you can notch the frame rail, then you need to at least say that it has to be stock wheel tubs. I mean, so you can, I guess what I'm getting at is on my little truck, even if I did notch the frame rail or you know, box it in and scoot it over, whatever, I still have no room in my wheel tubs for a 29.5 tire. So if they're going to scoot the frame rail or notch the frame rail, what about the wheel tubs? Are aftermarket tubs okay? Thus leading into mini tubs. And if you mini tub it, that opens up a whole nother can of worms in my book. So when you say that it has to have stock frame rail, stock suspension, stock location, coilover's okay. What, I mean, there's so much that goes on there. And then as far as the stock frame rail, most of your cars nowadays, they make some sort of a weld-in tubular kit, or if it's a Mustang, it's a bolt-in tubular K-member, and then they cut the front of the car off and put a round bar front end under it. So, what's your opinion on that? What do you think? What do you think a stock frame rail class should be? I mean, are you okay with notching the frame rails and scooting them in? If your vehicle, if the frame rails stick out past the wheel tubs, I guess? or do you allow them to put wheel tubs in it? Technically, mini tubbing it. Okay, so leads to the next rule: the stock suspension in stock location. He's thinking about allowing coilovers. That's a double negative. If the suspension has to be in the stock location and you're going to allow coilovers, I mean, I don't get that. I mean, I guess I have a hard time trying to figure out where you're going here. Stock suspension, stock location, coilovers, okay. Then why even say stock location? I mean, I don't get that. I don't get it. No ladder bars, no four links is the next rule, but I'm still stuck on the suspensions. Suspension has to be basically stock location, but you allow coilovers. Are we talking about a replacement coilover, like on a GM vehicle, like my little truck? They make a QA1, makes a coilover kit for the front that utilizes the factory upper spring well, tapers down to a coil spring on a QA1 shock, and it bolts in the factory location. It's double adjustable. I mean, that's stock location to me, but is that what you're getting at when you say coilovers? His answer was, yeah, basically if the coilovers can go in the factory location, that's what I mean. And I said, well, that's the gray area right there that can be, you know, I guess in miscommunication. I mean, you can have somebody show up with a Mustang, coilovers in the rear, and you said coilovers were okay, and they get there and they've got coilovers, and you tell them, no, you can't have that. Now, obviously, they're going to argue your rules say coilovers okay. So, again, kind of a gray area rule. I don't like gray areas. No, I'm sorry. I do like gray areas. I take advantage of the gray areas, just like everybody else would do, given the opportunity. They would take advantage of the gray areas, and that gray area can be the difference from winning and not winning. It's not cheating. It's just a gray area. So, just kind of a few things. He thought about putting a weight brake on it. Well, I mean, I'm okay with that too, but at the same time, I mean, I've seen some heavy stuff run pretty good. I myself am fairly heavy. Nobody believes me. Everybody says I'm full of it, but I mean, I'm 3,350 pounds in my little S10. To me, that's heavy. I would love to be 2,700 pounds. Does it give me the disadvantage over somebody that does weigh 2,700 pounds? Absolutely it does. They don't have to make near the power. They don't have to make the torque. I mean, that's a no-brainer to weigh 2,700 pounds. You know, I mean, if you can get it that light. Unfortunately, no, mine's not. It's mild steel, roll cage, everything's still in it. It isn't light with me in it. It's 3,350. So make your weight rule. I don't care. I'm going to be heavier than what the weight rule is anyways. But in turn, that would keep some cars out of it. I know, because they're not going to add 300 or 400 or 500 pounds to do that. I know they won't. I mean, that takes the advantage away from them. So, I mean, that's a good rule to have, the weight rule. Now, he also said he thought about doing some adjusting. Like, let's say that your Mustang does have coilovers. Add 75 pounds. Whoop-de-doo. I mean, £75 can work out to their advantage when you're talking about no prep. I mean, like me, I mean, if I had to add 75 pounds, if the class was 3,200 and I had to add 75 pounds because of coilovers, I mean, I'm already 3,350 anyway, so I'm heavier than his 3,200 pound mark, which would be 3,275. So, I mean, I've got that lick. Big deal. I'll add 75 pounds, sure. So, again, that just a discussion, just to kind of see what you guys think on that. To me, I think he's gonna try to have a neat little series deal that I would definitely be interested in. But at the same time, I mean, he's got to pick some rules. They've got to set in stone, and you cannot alter the rules for 2 or 3 guys. Also, on the rules, I feel that once you set rules in stone and you never alter the rules, I don't care. One of your buddy's cars doesn't meet the rules because of this, he decides he wants to race in your class, and I don't know, he's got windshield wipers on the rear of it when the rules say they got to be on the front. I don't know. Don't alter the rules. You do not mess with the rules. On another note, if you meet those rules to the T, even if there's gray areas, like I said, the gray areas, they're going to be there. You cannot cover every rule down to the T. I don't care who you are. There's going to be gray areas. But if your rules are on paper, set in stone, and those rules have been announced way before the race, and there are guys that are changing their shit up to fit those rules, and they do. When they get to the track and they start dominating your class, I personally don't feel that they should be kicked out or moved up a class just because they're dominating. Do I like seeing somebody dominate a particular class? No, I don't. But at the same time, if I run a particular class and there's somebody that is just, he wins every program you got, he's winning. To me, that just means I need to step my shit up and get better. Either I need to spend more money to get faster, or I need to figure out his technology. I mean, whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. He's got the upper hand. He's winning every weekend, but he fits the rules to the T. I do not feel that he should be hindered by having to move up. Now, I know you're going to have 4, 5, or 10 guys griping about it. That guy wins all the time. He's got to be cheating. Whatever. If you can prove he's not cheating, you look at his car and everything on the car is exactly as your rules say, so be it. Leave that guy alone. Let him kick their ass. If they want to drop out, they're the titty babies. They're the guys that don't need to be racing anyways, because they want to play favoritism to themselves. Because if you kick that guy out and move him up to the next class, or you don't let him run in your series because of he's kicking everybody's ass, guess what? They're going to pick on the next fastest guy. So you've got a guy that's below him that you kick that guy out, and this guy's kicking everybody's ass, and it's his turn to start winning, and guess what those guys are going to do? They're going to gripe and complain that his crap ain't legal, or he can't do this because whatever. If he fits the rules, leave the man alone. Them titty babies need to either suck it up and get better, or they can leave and go home for all I care. I mean, there's guys like me that don't give a shit. I hate losing. But when I do lose, I don't give up. I try to come up with a way to make it faster, to make my program better, whatever. I mean, racing is a money game anyways. So if I got to spend more money to beat somebody, I mean, that's normal, right? I mean, that's the way I feel about it. But I mean, it's, you know, you can't hinder a guy for winning all the time. I mean, even if he's not winning all the time, he wins 2 or 3 races, and them guys are already starting to cry. I mean, put up a protest deal. Make them pay $200 or $300 or whatever to protest him. And I mean, if they pay the protest money and that guy fits the rules, he gets the money. He's legal, fair and square. Now, in turn, they protest that guy and finds out he's not legal for whatever. I mean, they get their money back, obviously, and I very seriously doubt you're going to make that guy pay the money, the protest money to them. He's not going to do that. It's probably going to be a fist fight when you try to do that. But I mean, that's it. They protest him, find out he's illegal, give them their money back, and kick his ass out. Don't let him come back. But I mean, that's just my 2 cents on it. Somebody dominates and they're legal, hey, more power to them. I mean, hats off, buddy. You're figuring out a way to do it faster than everybody else, or, you know, whether it be cubic inch or, I don't know, whatever the situation may be. But if you're doing it, hats off to you. I guess he called me to talk to me about it because, you know, again, like I said, my truck is as stock as it was in '92. Doesn't have factory 92 parts on it, but everything is in the stock location. The only thing that my little truck don't have that it would have had in '92 is a heater case, and I don't give a damn. I'm not putting the heater case in it because, I mean, I'm not going to run the heater. I just don't care. I mean, if it's that cold, I'll wear 2 jackets and a sock hat and some gloves and 3 or 4 pair of socks. But it takes up a lot of room in that little truck when there's already no room in an S10 for anything, let alone the motor. So that's the only thing I don't have. So that's why he called and talked to me. And like I told him, if you're wanting my opinion, I can tell you right now that I can pick these rules to death, and you want to base them off something I have, I am stock. So that's where I want my rules to be. You know, stock location, no altering the frame rail, no coilovers, no ladder bars. Either has to be done on a leaf spring or factory, Mustang, G-body, you know, that style of stuff. Yeah, I mean, you go ahead and sure put some battle boxes in it, things like that. Again, you know, a lot of people, they say, well, that's not stock. Well, that's kind of a safety issue. I have seen some guys before make some pretty good power with the stock torque boxes and rip them plumb out of the car and do some major damage. So that's kind of a safety issue. My leaf spring perches in the front, I mean, they're welded, they're braced, they're supported. So, I mean, they're going to do the same thing in a Mustang, is put some torque boxes and beef them up, if whatever. And I'm okay with that. Just like I said, that's a safety thing. Tell you something else that's a safety thing in my book: Lexan windshields. I am for Lexan windshields. Just because I've seen wrecks, people have glass windshields, and you know, makes a mess, cuts you up, things like that. I feel like the Lexan is better. You know, I've seen a bunch of wrecks with Lexan windshields, and not shatter or nothing like that. I mean, they typically, they'll break or bend. I mean, if it's a bad enough impact, but they don't shatter like glass and put shards of glass everywhere. Now, that being said, do I run a glass windshield? Sure I do, because most of the stuff I run, you can't run Lexan. So, you pick your poison, I guess. Really, that's kind of about it. I just really wanted to get you guys' opinions and see what you thought the small tire was, and what do you think about some of those rules. I mean, I know, again, that's a debate that can go on forever. Just like carburetor over fuel injection, which is better? I mean, it's hands down fuel injection. But we can talk about it forever. So, nitrous and turbo, which is better? Obviously, it's a turbo. But we can talk about it forever. So, but anyways, put your input in the comments. You know, let me know what you think. I mean, I'd like to hear your opinions. I mean, like I said, I don't have to get in an arguing match over it. I just kind of like to know from different areas what's everybody's rule on small tire and things like that. Whoa, just about had a crash there. But yeah, that's going to be it. Remember, go ahead and comment and like and subscribe. Hit the bell. Go ahead and do that now. And we'll see you next time, guys. Thanks.